Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Malifaux, and this is the first game for the Inquisitive child in the Divergent Paths world event Weird is running. We're just outside Malifaux Station. The child has run away and is hidden by the merry-go-round, or Ferris wheel, whatever that's called. She's there in the centre. So we've got impassable blocking buildings, forests, blocking hilly severe terrain, more severe terrain for ponds. These are flaming forests, are hazardous. We've got a pit which is hazardous, and small pits over here which is hazardous. We like our hazardous terrain. It's Mei Feng versus Sonia, and I like this matchup much better than Yan Lo against Sonia. I won deployment and chose to set up in this corner. I've got a rail worker, Kang, rail worker, Mei Feng, Emberling, rail worker. Mei Feng has wings of wind because I've got a cunning plan. Devium has set up her forces like so. Sonia, with Sherife's imprint, the Purifying Flame, Witchling Stalker, Samael, Witchling Stalker, Witchling Stalker. My super cunning plan is to rail walk Mei Feng to the child in the first turn and get it behind my lines nice and quick, luring the Witchlings towards me for my slow ass crew to kill, and then we'll take it from there. Oh, and these are our Witchlings for the scenario, by the way. Seems some sneaky Neverborn are impersonating Sonia's Witchlings and trying to get the child for their own nefarious ends. Turn 1, there's Mei Feng's hand, and there's Sonia's hand. The Witchling tots have stalked forwards. Sonia's crew is moving out as fast as they can. There's a Witchling that's gone off behind this building over here, and I'm moving out my rail walkers to head off the tots in turn 2. Later on, I set up my rail walking train. Emberling walks up and cools down, dropping the scrap marker just within the tree so Mei Feng can see it. And the rail walker powers out as far as he can go. So I'm going to use one of Mei Feng's actions to double rail walk up, the next action to walk up to the child, and the next action to push her. At the end of the turn, Mei Feng can push back safely with Wings of Wind, so let's do this. I black joke at the first rail walk. Oh my god, that's annoying. So I persevere. The second rail walk goes off, but I have to cheat both of them to get there. I decide it's not worth going for the child, so I vent steam and then zero action to push the Emberling out. At the end of the turn, I push Mei Feng up to here so that she's at least in range, so that if I can just go first, I can start stealing the child away as if nothing had happened. Turn 2, holding on to those good cards. Sonia's hand, ooh, that's gonna hurt. The Witchling tots move forward towards the child, getting a bit closer now. And yes, I lose the initiative. So Samael jogs up and pushes the child away. The rail walker walks up to be a rail point for Mei Feng. This Witchling moves up and pushes the child over here. Ooh, she's damn cunning. And things start to get quite messy, so Mei Feng rail walks up to the rail worker guy, pushes the child twice, and we're just going to have to rely on the fact we're engaging these guys to survive. But then the Purifying Flame decides to get in on the mix. I think he shot this thing first, and then ran on in. Sonia doesn't give a shit, and blasts on into the melee, hitting the Purifying Flame, I think, every time. Oh, she black jokered one of the shots, that was it. So she hits the Purifying Flame and blasts onto my dudes. Just rude. Rail worker charges the Witchling tot and kills it. For some points, and 2 damage, damn. Other Witchling does the same. This Witchling shoots the tot, but can't kill it. It's got 1 damage left and burning. I had to cheat my 11 here to stop it from killing it. The Emberling's moved out and pushed the child. Kang has moved out and is ready to push the child. I moved him too far out the other turn, that was annoying. And then the rail worker's come over here, is going to drop a scheme marker and is going to head off that tot next turn. At the end of the turn, this tot dies from burning and no one gets any points. Mei Feng pushes up and out towards this Witchling. I've got to try to shut Sonia down, and being engaged is better than not being engaged, I guess. Just. Turn 3, let's do this. Great hand. 2 high masks as well for Mei Feng. But Sonia's got a pretty good hand too. Sonia gets the initiative. Oh! Cracks her knuckles and sends a flamestorm into this engagement. With her casting 9, there's no way for me to get my defensive trigger. So Mei Feng takes some damage, the blast kills the rail worker, and the Witchling also does take some damage. Mei Feng retaliates, killing the Witchling and beating on Sonia with a charge, and setting her on fire, see how she likes it. In the centre, I pretty much goof things up quite badly. Embling walks through the boxes because I need to get him away from Samael, and drops Scheme Marker. The Rail Worker at some point then kills the Witchling, which does damage to them both and makes them both burning. So dumb. This Witchling over here shoots my Valiant Rail Worker, taking him to hard to kill and putting him on burning, but can't finish him with the second shot, so he jumps down and plops down a plant evidence marker before hitting the dust at the end of the turn. And yes, this guy does take burning and can't remove it because the Embling's right next to him. I'm such an idiot. Turn 4, we forget to take pictures of our hands. I win the initiative! I need to stop Samael from killing my Scheme Runners, and I reckon Mayfang can handle herself as I've got a couple of pretty high masks. So the 1 wound Rail Worker valiantly runs up to just bog this guy down. So Sonia goes. She has to walk up into Mayfang's engagement. She uses her 0 action for the Inferno. Oh my gosh, that's annoying when she's got a dampening field. I'm not worried because I've got the 13 masks, but she cheats the Red Joker. She takes Mayfang to her last wound and heals herself up too. Sigh. With the last swing, Mayfang does manage to dodge out of the way. Things end up looking like this. The guild has started scheming. The Embling's trying to get into a position where he can plant evidence, and Kang is using his oh so valuable AP to do some walking to try to get to protect territory. You may note that Mayfang isn't here anymore. Well, in her activation, she walked over here and dropped Scheme Marker, and then went over to the other side of these trees to hide from Sonia. Completely forgetting that this Witchling over here hadn't activated, it walked over and shot her in the face. I hate my life. So Sonia scores Assassinate. Turn 5, there's my hand, hope it's good enough, and there's Sonia's hand. I lose the initiative, and we did make a mistake here. I thought that this thing had got burning from the Witchling and couldn't remove it because of its aura. So Sonia could see it, and she shot and killed it. However, it shouldn't have burning because it's immune to it. Oh well. So it looks like I forgot to take any pictures after this one. Sonia finished her activation up here, the Witchling ran over and planted more evidence by the boxes. Kang dropped Scheme Marker and moved into position to score protect territory, and Samael walked up and shot at him, and I think the cover saved me. And there we go, that's the end of the game. The guild scored 3 points for Assassinate, and 3 points for Plant Evidence, and 1 point for killing a Witchling Tot. The 10 Thunders scored 3 points for Protect Territory, 3 points for Plant Evidence, 3 points for having the child kidnapped in their deployment zone, and 2 points for killing Witchling Tots, making this game 11-7 to the Thunders. This is only Devium's second real game, and already I'm having to stop pulling my punches, because honestly she doesn't need me to. As with Sonia, she's more than capable of obliterating me without my help. And in case you were worried, I can leave you news that the child was found by a kindly monk, who teaches her some ancient mystical techniques for healing horrifically burned rail crews. Take care.